Shalom! Welcome to Caesarea Maritima. Caesarea Maritima is an ancient city located on the Mediterranean Sea on the northern half of the Israeli coast. The interesting sights to see at Caesarea are the aqueduct, theater, Herod's palace, the hippodrome, and the Crusader castle. The part of the aqueduct that we now see is located just north of the archaeological site. The double aqueduct brought fresh water 16 miles from Mount Carmel to Caesarea, providing fresh water to the whole city and Herod's pool. The theater that we now see dates back to the 1st century BC. Even though it was gone through many renovations, the theater has survived and is still in use today. During the 1st century, it would have seated roughly 4,000 people. During the Byzantine period, changes were made so that the orchestra area could be flooded and they hosted mock sea battles. Herod's palace was divided into two parts. The upper palace, which had a large open courtyard, would have also served as Herod and his predecessors' courtroom. The lower palace featured a massive rock-cut freshwater pool. This is amazing since the pool stretches out into the Mediterranean Sea. Caesarea and its harbor were built by Herod the Great in around 9 BC. During this time, it became the Roman capital of Judea. It was populated until sometime around the 6th century. It stood as a Crusader stronghold from the 11th century until 1265 AD. It got its name from Herod, who named it after Caesar Augustus. At the site of Herod's palace, the only physical evidence to have ever been found proving that Pontius Pilate was a real person was discovered. The stone was found during excavations in 1961 and is now located in the Israeli Museum. It is likely that Pilate would have used Caesarea as a base and only went to Jerusalem when needed. Acts 25 starting in verse 1. 3 days after arriving in the province, Festus went up from Caesarea to Jerusalem, where the chief priests and the Jewish leaders appeared before him and presented the charges against Paul. They requested Festus as a favor to them to have Paul transferred to Jerusalem, where they were preparing an ambush to kill him along the way. Festus answered, "Paul is being held at Caesarea, and I myself am going there soon. Let some of your leaders come with me, and if the man has done anything wrong, they can press charges against him there." After spending 8 or 10 days with them, Festus went down to Caesarea. The next day he convened the court and ordered that Paul be brought before him. When Paul came in, the Jews who had come down from Jerusalem stood around him. They brought many serious charges against him, but they could not be proven. The hippodrome was built by Herod the Great for the inauguration of the city in 10 BC. It was the venue of the Actian Games instituted by King Herod in honor of Emperor Augustus, which were held every 4 years. The hippodrome was 300 meters long and 50 meters wide, and may have had as many as 15,000 seats. The hippodrome was intended primarily for horse and chariot competitions. The rider's chariot, pulled by 2 or 4 horses, emerged from compartments on the northern side of the hippodrome. Gladiator competitions also took place here. In 22 BC, Herod began to build Sebastus, which was a massive deep-sea harbor made from hydraulic concrete. At the time of construction, it would have been the largest man-made harbor in the world. Thank you for exploring Caesarea Maritima with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next site.